we'll wait and see whether or not we get a chance to introduce and implement any of this stuff. But I hope, at least, that the ideas themselves are good enough that enough people will say, well, these make sense, and if they aren't done before a general election, perhaps they might be done afterwards, depending on the result, of course.
Could be wasting the Queen's time, though. She might have to come and do it all again.
Well, I'm afraid that's always a risk with anybody's time, especially Her Majesty's.
There's a sort of sense of relief that we're talking about something other than Brexit. For the next 4 or 5 days at least, we'll be talking about the issues on education, on crime, on health, on care of the elderly that most voters really care about. And I think a lot of people, whether they voted to leave the EU as I did or they voted to remain, I think they feel that too much of our political bandwidth has been taken up with Brexit.
And Paul, do I understand, do I gather, possibly, that the Prime Minister has been watching Points West?
Well, Boris Johnson was addressing MPs in the Commons this afternoon, and indeed he did make reference to the interview that you recently did with Jeremy Corbyn.
Mr. Speaker, the right honourable gentleman recently said that he was daunted by the prospect that he might actually become Prime Minister. And I have to say that he is not alone in that fear.
Now, it's got to be said that Jeremy Corbyn wasn't terribly moved. Boris Johnson had an easier day in Parliament, but it's going to get a lot tougher later this week. He's got to go to Brussels, try to finalise a deal, and then everyone's going to be back here on Saturday for what is billed as Brexit Decision Day.
Also known as Super Saturday. Thanks for that, Paul.